for my teammates, and if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us I think so many people are watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now.
Cashed in, literally cashed in, but her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. Because she wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's trying to, there's somebody you may tune in to watch, and then maybe if you watch, then maybe you appreciate what you're seeing. WNBA has been around a couple of decades, and people didn't notice the game. They're noticing it now. Well, that's because of Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese.
Angel Reese is fuming after a brutal takedown by basketball experts. But it's Caitlin Clark's shocking move against her that's shaking the entire WNBA to its core. Since Caitlin Clark burst onto the scene, it's been pure chaos. Players are losing their cool left and right, trying everything in the book to take her down. From heated battles on the court to fiery off-court controversies, Caitlin's rise has sparked an all-out war in the WNBA. Whether it's about race, experience, or raw skill, the league has never seen anything like this.
Her range, her three-point shooting overall, her flair for testing her range every night and knowing that the other team's going to try to take it away. And she's fearless. No shot is a bad shot, and when you can shoot it as well as she can. She just adds another element of surprise that you can't really game plan for because it's so kind of just unseen. And once she crosses half court, she's within her range. It's always a threat. Biggest thing is how she balances that and her playmaking ability to get everybody else involved.
Why do they hate her? Simple. They can't stand the tidal wave of praise Caitlin Clark is getting. While they've been grinding for years, this rookie sensation is stealing the spotlight, and it's eating them alive. Angel Reese, she's at the front of the line, the loudest voice in this growing chorus of jealousy. But here's the twist. Basketball experts have torn her down so viciously she might think twice, or even 3 times, before running her mouth again.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. You know, they flew private.
Sure, they're both rookies, new kids on the block, already making waves. But here's the real question. Why is Angel Reese burning with jealousy over Caitlin Clark? Both are insanely talented. So what's the catch? Simple. It's all about the spotlight. While Angel is talented, Caitlin is in a league of her own. It's like comparing a Michelin star chef to someone flipping burgers. Both are in the game, but only one is creating a masterpiece that everyone's talking about.
Everybody to understand that. That's what you told us. The problem is your actions vehemently disagree. Because on June 1st, after Kennedy Carter cheap shots Caitlin Clark, you get up and you celebrate the cheap shot of Caitlin Clark. And then you proceed to hug your teammate who just cheap shotted her. Then fast forward 2 days later, you say, I'll take on the bad guy role.
I've got a daughter who plays collegiate basketball. I've been watching the game closely for the last 8-9 years at every level. WNBA, collegiate, high school, you name it. The women's game is more physical. It just is.
Way more physical.
Way more physical.
Let's break this down. Caitlin Clark's stats aren't just impressive, they're jaw-dropping. We're talking 17.1 points, 8.2 assists, and 4.9 rebounds per game. These aren't just numbers, they're statements. She's not playing by the rules, she's rewriting them. A triple threat, a game changer, and a one-woman highlight reel. When Caitlin steps on the court, it's like watching a masterclass in basketball. Now, don't get it twisted. Angel Reese has serious game too. She's scoring, rebounding, and making her presence known. But here's the harsh truth. When you stack her numbers next to Caitlin's, it's like showing up to a gunfight with a knife. The stats are clear. Angel's a contender, but Caitlin,
of which Caitlin Clark has played 74 minutes against the Sky. The Sky only have 2 flagrant fouls all season. Y'all want to know who the 2 flagrant fouls are on? Caitlin Clark. So was it a basketball play? Yes, it was. Should she be suspended? Absolutely not. But if you've only played 540 minutes of basketball, and of those 540, 74 have been against Caitlin, you only got 2 flagrants, and they happen to be against Caitlin.
And here's the kicker. It didn't sit well with Angel at all. Stuck in Caitlin's shadow, she let her emotions steer the ship. And let's just say, it veered way off course. That green-eyed monster called jealousy, it got the better of her. Instead of focusing on her own game, Angel started acting out, crossing lines that had nothing to do with healthy competition. Dan Patrick summed it up perfectly when he said,
Reese. Angel Reese has played a role in this. And she's a very good player. But there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA, may not care about basketball.
The defining moment, or total meltdown, depending on how you see it, came during a critical game when Angel, clearly fed up, decided to go full WWE. That's right, she busted out the "you can't see me" move, John Cena's signature taunt, and threw it right in Caitlyn's face. A bold move for sure, but one that screamed more frustration than competition. And if you missed it, let me tell you, it was as shocking as it was petty.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
In the heat of the moment, Angel's taunt might have looked like a power move, but let's be real, it was more of a desperate cry for attention. This game didn't just make headlines for what went down on the court, it became infamous for the drama that followed. Reese's gesture was a flashing neon sign that screamed, "I can't compete with you, so here's a distraction instead." And guess what? The basketball world didn't hold back. From legends to analysts to the entire Twitterverse, everyone had something to say. But no one saw it as bold or brave. They saw it for what it was, a cheap shot. Proof that Reese was more focused on dragging down a superior player than leveling up her own game.
Overall by the Sky 2 months ago. On Monday, Reese addressed the media following that controversial technical foul on her teammate, Kennedy Carter, who shoved Caitlin Clark, a move that drew national headlines. Reese made it clear that fans are watching women's basketball not because of, quote, one player, but because of her as well, about business. And when Angel Reese comes out and says, she ain't the only one everybody's watching, they're watching me too, they're watching others, a day later she gets ejected.
As always, the internet exploded with memes, hashtags, and fiery opinions, all fixated on that one pivotal moment, hash. You Can See Him went viral, but not in the way Angel Reese had hoped. Instead of rallying support, it became a badge of Reese's frustration, and a testament to Caitlyn's unshakable composure. It was like watching a meme go from a stunt to a symbol of how far Reese had fallen behind. While Angel was preoccupied with trying to get into Caitlyn's head, Caitlyn was too focused on owning the game to even notice. But even so,
Social media star, and she has capitalized on that. And maybe she embraces being the villain. But make no mistake about it, Caitlin Clark is the reason why everybody has an opinion on what happened in that game. It's Caitlin Clark.
Honestly, Caitlin Clark's response was the ultimate power move. She didn't need to engage in any petty back and forth. Her game was her mic drop. Clark's performances are nothing short of extraordinary. Record-breaking, expectation-shattering, highlight reel brilliance. Take August 30th, for instance. If you missed that game, you missed witnessing pure history. Caitlin lit up the court with an awe-inspiring 31 points and 12 assists against the Chicago Sky. This wasn't just another game, it was a monumental statement. Clark became the first player in WNBA history to achieve these numbers in a regular season game, and she made it look like a routine Tuesday. That's not just playing the game, that's rewriting the record books with style.
Over the Mystics last Wednesday, according to ESPN Stats and Information Research, Clark is the first rookie in WNBA history to have 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 15 assists in a 2-game span. The Fever have now won 3 in a row. The teams face off Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN. Look, Angel Reese, this is further validation that Caitlin Clark is not the only one being watched. Props to Angel Reese, no doubt about that. But it's also acknowledgement that Caitlin Clark is the golden goose. She's the cash cow.
And just like that, the Rookie of the Year debate was a wrap, thanks to Caitlin Clark's jaw-dropping achievements. Her scoring, elite, her playmaking, unrivaled, and her overall impact on the game simply left everyone else scrambling to catch up. Even when Angel Reese tried to downplay Caitlin's success by claiming that stats don't tell the whole story, the numbers were deafeningly clear. Caitlin's performance didn't just tip the scales, it shattered them, leaving no doubt about who truly deserved the Rookie of the Year title. The stats were loud, proud, and impossible to ignore.
I'm going to remind y'all that in the 28-year history of the WNBA, only 9 players in the league's history have eclipsed on-court earnings of $1 million. Think about that. Average NBA salary is $10 million. The NBA is on the verge of inking a $76 billion deal. The WNBA is going to be happy when they push it past $200 million in terms of record.
Stefan's praise for Caitlin Clark isn't just hype, it's backed by undeniable numbers. Clark is averaging an impressive 17.1 points and 8.2 assists per game. For a rookie, those stats are nothing short of extraordinary. In contrast, Angel Reese's numbers, 13.5 points and 11.9 rebounds, while solid, just can't match Caitlin's all-around brilliance. It's like comparing a solid B+ to an A++, and everyone knows it. Every time Reese tried to downplay Caitlin's achievements, she only highlighted Caitlin's superiority even more. But let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Caitlin Clark is causing a seismic shift in the world of basketball. Her rise has sparked a frenzy of attention for the WNBA, with viewership numbers and merchandise sales soaring every time she steps onto the court. On social media, she's a viral sensation. Her highlights are everywhere, drawing in fans who might have never given women's basketball a second glance. Caitlin Clark isn't just a standout player, she's a phenomenon, igniting a movement and inspiring a new generation to dream big and ball even bigger.
This is a phenomenon. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon. And if I said to any of these people who think Caitlin Clark is not the Rookie of the Year, I'd say, who would you want to start your franchise with? Now, I'm not going to put Asia Wilson in there. I'm just saying between these two. Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the bounce.
Angel Reese's trajectory started with high expectations, but her recent on-court antics have spiraled into controversy. The backlash was both swift and intense. Charles Barkley, known for his no-nonsense approach, didn't hold back on Inside the NBA. He tore into Reese, branding her actions as immature and unsportsmanlike. His critique wasn't just a slap on the wrist, it was a powerful indictment of her recent behavior, adding fuel to the already heated debate surrounding her conduct.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world. Oh, you are. Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished.
And what about Shaquille O'Neal? He didn't pull any punches either. Shaq made it clear that trash talk is only impressive if you can back it up with stellar play, and Caitlin Clark's game speaks volumes.
Caitlin Clark, do you think it was Angel Reese? What do you think it was?
Well, it was definitely what happened last year between Caitlin Clark and, Angel Reese. It was, talked about and would have liked to seen that rematch in time. But Caitlin Clark is a special player. She reminds me of a Steph Curry. A lot of times she takes those ill-advised shots that me and Chuck don't like, but they go in. Not only do they go in consistently. And the way she plays the game, she's the true definition of a great player, one that makes the players around her better. Not only was she making a great shot, she was making...
While Clark effortlessly delivered on the court, Reese's trash talk fell flat in comparison. Shaq's words cut straight to the heart of the matter. Talk is cheap when you can't deliver, and right now, Caitlin's performance is the gold standard.
Like she can really shoot, and she's really good at the free throw line.
Oh, listen, well, you must give really good advice. You've got your daughter, and then they describe you as an advisor to Angel Reese. What kind of advice do you give her?
Well, I just, me and Chuck, we go through this a lot. A lot of time when we critique these guys, these youngsters and these females, they don't understand that all the stuff that they're getting ready to go through, we are the masters of that. So I was just, telling her how to handle adversity, how to handle, controversy.
The jealousy became the centerpiece of the conversation. Speculation ran rampant that Reese's behavior was fueled by the harsh realization that she couldn't match Caitlin Clark's prowess. Every time Reese took a shot at Clark, it only underscored the growing chasm between them. The more Reese tried to bring Caitlin down, the more glaringly obvious her own shortcomings became. It was like pouring gasoline on a fire. The attempts to discredit Clark only highlighted Reese's struggle to keep pace with her.
So you don't think she has, literally put life into WNBA? Yeah, we're talking about it right now, but I don't think she's going anywhere. And I think she is going to literally turn this thing around, not because of the stupid controversial bump, but bro, people are selling out to watch this girl play.
Fans who once rallied behind Angel Reese are now turning their backs. disillusioned by her antics. What was once her social media playground has devolved into a battleground where she's rapidly losing ground. The hashtags that once supported her are now filled with criticism, and the memes circulating online are far from flattering. Reese's attempts at damage control, her apologies and explanations, have been met with heavy skepticism and side-eye. The public verdict is clear. Reese's credibility is in free fall, and the once loyal fans are no longer buying what she's trying to sell. The tide has turned, and it's not in her favor. In the end, Angel Reese's efforts to outshine Caitlin Clark have only highlighted Clark's dominance in the WNBA. While Reese faces backlash and diminished support, Clark continues to set records and captivate fans with her incredible performances. What do you think about this rivalry and its impact on both players? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take. And for more sizzling sports updates and thrilling moments, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned.